Okay. Uh, why we need to immediately stop all weddings from your boy Big T.
Weddings. A beautiful ceremony where two people decide that they love each other so much that they want nothing more than to spend the rest of their lives with each other. And they accomplish this task by forcing friends and relatives to watch them make out in a field. Then they
Oh,
also
yeah.
sign a legally binding contract that states if one of them decides to give up on the whole love each other forever shtick, then the other person in turn will own them for the rest of their lives.
Oh, yeah. What is this? A table 1 impact of deductible alimony payments. Without alimony, with alimony, maximizing ability to pay. Jesus.
Also, there's cake. Weddings suck,
Yeah.
dude. They just do. They just suck. From the
They do and they don't suck. They don't suck because essentially it's like an adult party, but they do suck in that if like the man and the woman like do it right, it's like everybody is like, it's very weird too, because like I've been to like a couple weddings and it's like you see all the friend groups of each person and it's just really weird. Like, oh, how do you know so and so? Oh, I'm from the job. I am just some dude that was met at the gym and now we're friends. I'm a friend of like 1 year. I'm a friend since high school. And I don't know. It's just, and it's also kind of eye-opening or eye-revealing to see like how small a world it is. Because like whenever you just go through life, you just see people and there's not really like any connection to them, like, oh, like where they live, what their job is, and what they do as a hobby, and so on and so forth. Everyone's going off and doing their own thing. You know, this is in relevance to like America at least. I would imagine that like lots of, I don't know, friendships can, you know, at least start from like going to like your boy's wedding or your girl's wedding, just to see like, oh, hey, I remember you. I saw you over here. What's up? And you know, that type of thing. I would imagine that happens a lot.
Altar to the seats, everyone there just kind of wishes they were doing literally anything else. So let me try and explain my personal reasons for why I hate weddings without sounding like a lonely neckbeard who's just angry at the world for not loving him. I'm not an incel, I promise. I just have a lot of
Oh my god.
gripes with the wedding industry.
Oh, well, the wedding industry, the industry of wedding, that's a pretty scammy industry.
So first off, let's just talk about the overarching reasons for why weddings are big dumb hour. Quick disclaimer, these are my personal
Yeah, because everybody's drunk at the wedding. When are you ever going to go to a wedding and not get drunk?
opinions for why weddings suck, which means they are undisputably correct. If you disagree with any of the points I'm about to make, I would consider the fact that you are wrong and change your opinion accordingly. Number one is the dress code. Why do I gotta wear a suit? Because you're wearing a suit. That's
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not really any good like reason. It's just an appeal to tradition, essentially. But I mean, I don't know. Depending on what type of person you are, like going to like a suit rental place could be like your first time, and like I still at the age of 34 do not own a suit. Like if I need a suit, I'll go rent one. Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like a slightly new experience. It's like, oh, let's measure you up and do this and that, and let's get you fitted right and da 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 da. I mean, it's nice, but like, would I rather be home playing video games and shit? Yeah.
seems unfair. The only way I can visibly show respect to the ceremony is by wearing a tie. Fuck you. Suits are expensive, uncomfortable, and they make me feel like I'm my dad, and I don't like any of those things. And you're all
What the fuck? What was this?
I'm my dad, and I don't like any of
Nothing. Okay. Nothing against you, Dad. I just don't want to feel old. Sorry. Oh, man. My dad's kind of like this. My dad is like really old, though.
those things. And your options are either to buy an expensive suit or to rent an expensive suit, and then you have to go to a suit rental place where a weird man measures your penis area, and then you have
Bro, it's not just the penis area. It could be like your outseam. Like you can get your length from like different parts. All right. It doesn't have to be just the inseam. You can do the outer seam.
to sit in that weird starchy suit for like 12 hours boiling because for some
yeah.
reason people like to have their weddings in the summer, and then you have to drive all
Well, me personally, I never been to any summer weddings, and all the weddings I've been to, they've been inside. And I mean, because I live in Florida, you know, it's actually crazy to have a wedding outside in Florida. All right, because it's just hot. All right, if you want a wedding, you rent a building with really good AC, and then you're chilling.
all the way back to the penis man and pay him and return the suit. I'm just gonna stay home.
Yeah.
How about that? That sounds a lot better to me. Number 2, there is no reason on God's green earth that a wedding should take longer than 30 minutes, in my opinion. Let me give you a breakdown on how much time is being
the whole like ceremony part, that is a little I mean, but the whole thing, it's just like a party, dude. More or less. You're sitting, you're eating. Maybe you go up there to the buffet table and you get a bunch of shit, and then you go to like the little drink person bar, whatever, and then you get some booze, and then yeah, you just eat and drink. Hopefully it's on the weekend, so you don't gotta go to work tomorrow, you know.
being wasted at the average wedding. You start off with an awkwardly long religious ceremony. A religion, mind you, that the bride and groom haven't thought about since middle school, but their grandma's gonna be there, and she
True. This is pretty true.
would be really upset if Jesus wasn't involved somehow. Then we move to the reception, which is usually in some big tent or a shitty ballroom, and you wait for the bride and groom to show up.
Yeah.
But sadly, the married couple are off doing a poorly timed and honestly inconsiderate photo shoot for some reason. So you spend
Bro, a couple of the weddings I've been to, it's like everybody wants a picture. That alone, like having to do the separate and the together, like the bride and the groom pictures, like, hey, I'm in a suit, you're in a suit, let's get a picture. And it's like there's a fucking line, and it's like you see these people every day, more or less. Or like maybe if someone like flies down, maybe yeah, you give that person a picture. It's like they took time out of their day to like fly over and see you. You know, but like the people that see each other every day, it's like, what do you need a picture? I'm gonna see you tomorrow, dude. I'm gonna see you at work tomorrow. There's nothing special besides the fact that we're both in suits.
the next 45 minutes to hour and a half mingling with people who, let's be honest, in no other situation would you ever think about talking to. And then when they finally show up, all you're thinking is, oh, thank God, I can finally start drinking and eating food and forget about all the pain I'm going through right now. But actually, it's not time for that. It's time to listen to the most uncomfortable and unfunny speeches you have ever heard in your life from 12 of the bride and groom's best friends for some goddamn reason. Then after you eat and
yeah, but I mean, honestly, you can just chat GPT that shit now.
Drink and have some cake, you're in the end game, where you spend hours upon hours getting absolute blackout drunk to forget all the pain you went through. Or you just soberly wait for the clock to strike midnight until you can finally leave without making a social faux pas, all while trying to avoid the other alcoholics that went with option number one. Number three.
Oh yeah, the dance. When the dancing comes, there's always that one person that has to do the move with like the hand on the head and the hand on the ankle, and they do that thing, they start gyrating. It's like, please. It's not even funny as a meme anymore. Just stop. And then there's the dude that does the worm. It's like,
Most people suck, and wedding invitees are no exception. It's just a strange collection of people to have under one roof. Relatives that you haven't seen in an extremely long time, and you're not even sure if you're related anymore. Then you have the close friends of the bride and groom who are gonna get way too drunk and are gonna be all around a nuisance. And they all take group pictures together, even though you know half of them are never gonna be seen again after this event. Everyone is just quietly talking shit about everyone else at the party. It's just a weird vibe. Number 4, we have Destiny.
I don't know about that part, dude. I don't know what weddings you've been going to. But I don't know, for the most part, there's not really any shit talking. It's just like a lot of awkwardness and eating and drinking.
Destination weddings. I'm not going to fully break down the concept here, but if you do these, if you have a destination wedding, just know that everybody involved hates you. And finally, number 5, there are...
I got no idea what that is. What does that mean? Like, we're all going to meet here? Like, you have to like drive like a couple hours just to this one destination? Or whatever. I got no idea.
Way too many cringy traditions. That is impossible to say, dude. Cringy traditions that come with this shit. A father walks the daughter down the aisle to give her away to the new man in her life. Kind of a cute visual, but it's something that carried over from the time when people would sell their daughters for a couple shekels and the best goat in the village. It's a
that's actually weird if that's true.
weird thing we keep up. Then there's that whole thing where the bride wears a garter
Oh god, you're just reminding me of all the like actual weird shit.
belts, and sometimes they like take it off during the wedding ceremony, which is, it's just like, hey everybody, I'm gonna bang this girl, and it's so weird. Like
Yeah, it is actually. And then they do it with their mouth.
Grandma is right there. She is right there, and you're gonna take that thing off with your teeth? Oh my god. And then there's the classic throwing of the bouquet, which is just so mean. Tossing some dead flowers over your shoulders to the desperate spinsters that are just praying for a man to love them as much as that man loves you.
Oh yeah, because what is it? They throw them, and it's like whoever catches it is the one that is supposed to be getting married next, supposedly. But bro, I've seen too many videos of people taking, well, I say people, but it's like of women taking this shit like way too seriously, and it's the funniest shit. Like seeing like girls like throw hands and shit, like pushing other like women out of the way, or they'll trip over their dress. That's the funny part.
It's just a weird flex. There's actually like a million weird ass wedding traditions, actually.
Yeah.
I should probably make this its own segment.
I did.
So instead of talking about our outdated Western wedding traditions that suck, instead let's talk about some cool wedding traditions that come from the rest of the world. Up first, we have the tradition of Jota Chupai from India. I did not pronounce that correct, but I couldn't find a pronunciation online. Jota Chupai, once again, I'm sorry, translates directly to the hiding of the shoes. Something I do already because my cat is addicted to chewing shoelaces and she is a bad little girl and she can be a real dick sometimes. So during the wedding reception, an Indian bride's sisters and female cousins will hide the groom's shoes. And then they demand a ransom money for the shoes to be returned, which is hilarious to me. I could possibly see this being super annoying to the bride because one, it's one of the most stressful days of a young man's life, and also you have to give money to people who showed up. But
no, I imagine this has to be like scripted, because if it's a known tradition and it's like, oh, I'm the groom, I'm gonna take my shoes off at this time and they're gonna take them, and you know you're not gonna find it, so you have to bring like, I don't know, 100 V-Bucks and be like, oh, here's 100 V-Bucks for my shoes, guys. Thank you. I'm a man. I can provide. Here's the V-Bucks.
It's fun. I mean, hey, it sure beats the Catholic tradition of eating the flesh of a demigod during a wedding service, so, you know, to each their own. Also, there seems to be no real historical or meaningful reason for them doing this. It's just a fun tradition, like Elf on a Shelf, I guess, but whatever. Number 2, we got the crying ritual from China, a custom upheld by the Taijia people in various parts of China. Once again, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce words.
What a butcher.
Before the wedding, Taijia brides will cry for 1 hour every day, which is not unlike most American brides. And then 10 days later...
What? So wait, leading up to the wedding, you're supposed to cry an hour every day? That's so weird. I don't remember the last time I cried, dude. It was probably in the shower.
The sisters will join in the crying ceremony, and then 10 days after that, the mother will join in and crying an hour a day, and then 10 days after that, the grandmother will join in. So just a
Oh, wait. It's supposed to be a month of crying an hour a day? So first 10 days, cry by yourself. Next 10 days, you cry and your mom cries. And then the next 10 days after that, you cry, your mom cry, and your grandma cry. Bro, I'd be like running out of liquids and shit. I'd be like, my tear ducts dried up. Pass me a water. And shit, like, what?
Lineage of weeping women walking around the village and just getting the vibes off. And then they all cry until the day of the wedding. So this either seems super good for mental health or super bad for mental health. Once again, this definitely might be a reflection upon my research skills, but I couldn't find a reason for why they do this. It's just something they do. I'm guessing it has something to do with back in the day being sold to a man. That seems to track, but your guess is as good as mine. I don't know why they cry so much. Maybe, you know, brings a little blush to the cheeks. And finally, we have the groom's feet beating from South Korea.
What?
Did I read that right? Okay.
Bro, that sounds so painful.
Yes, I did. Okay, but don't worry. It's kind of a fun, lighthearted beating rather than an act of torture. Kind of like when your little brother takes the Player 1 controller. It also says here that it is most...
What is that supposed to do?
It's definitely not a fetish thing, which seems odd and out of place. But I'll take it at face value and continue on. So after the ceremony, the groom's friends and family grab him, tie his feet together, and just start beating the shit out of the bottom of his seat with like a stick, a belt, or a dried fish.
Like, what? A stick, a belt, or a dried fish? That last part, the dried fish, where does that come from, dude? Like, what? You got to go through the rest of your wedding day with like fishy feet? Who is coming up with that? What is the reasoning for that? Like, oh, that's like my boy chose hoes over bros, and now I got to beat the shit out of his feet because these boots aren't made for walking?
Guess they have some of those lying around in South Korea. The groom must endure the beating of people slapping its feet, all while he's answering riddles and trivia. Oh my god, that's kind of sick. I feel like this could go hard in America. If we just slightly modified bar trivia to foot beating trivia, that could pop off. Don't make it
Find the fish
a fetish
photo.
thing though. Please don't make it a fetish thing. The ritual is believed to test a groom's strength and character while also serving as a bondage experience for the newlyweds and their friends and family. Bonding experience. I didn't write that out right. Bonding experience, not bondage. Jesus Christ.
Oh, he totally meant bondage.
Lingering. Pull it together. So now I just wanted to explain for the rest of the video how much of a scam weddings are. I will only be focusing on the financial problems that come with having a wedding in the first place. I'm not going to be
Oh yeah, this part is the most scammiest of scams, with like all the bullshit that can go into like a wedding, because like the people that are in the wedding industry, they're always gonna default to the argument of, oh, this is gonna be the one day of the year where it's gonna matter, and it's gonna be about, you're not gonna be able to do this day again. It's like the graduation day in high school, or your graduation day in college, or like going to the prom. It's like, that's the rationale that they use to leverage them like jacking up the prices on selling you everything that comes along with a wedding. This is a once in a lifetime thing, and don't you want it to mean something?
Delving into what happens after a wedding, because, you know, with divorce and, you know, signing a wedding contract is probably one of the worst things you can do from a logistics standpoint, because then I just sound like a 50-year-old man who just bought a yacht. But the wedding industry is known for jacking up the prices on your big day, even though whatever item you purchase is way less expensive.
Okay, white dress, $80. Wedding dress, $2,000. Ooh. Yep. This is kind of similar to gaming peripherals. Like, it's not enough for you to have a really good computer. You have to have a gaming computer, because when they slap the word gaming on there, yeah, it's just it oozes speed and quality, or like a gaming headset or an elite controller. All right, when you slap the word gaming on it, that's just, again, another argument to jack the price up on something
in any other situation. So with all that being said, it's time to play America's favorite game show, Guess That Obscene Price. I will never not do this bit. Let's compare the price of wedding party favors to their normal counterparts and see just how much the bride and groom are getting screwed. Up first, we have the venue. So let's say you and the boys wanted to have a night out, but you're afraid of women and loud noises. So you decide to rent out an entire reception area so you and the boys can mill about and talk about things like sports and, once again, how scary women are. Well, on average, you'd be spending about...
Okay, I have no idea how much a reception area costs. I've never had to do this. Only the people's weddings that I've been to had to do this. I'm just gonna guess. I mean, he's kind of like doing so like 3,000 for the day or something.
$3,500 to have a whole night of tomfoolery to yourself. Not the cheapest way to spend your time, but let's say you and one of the bros decided to get married that night. Well, if you accidentally let one of the venue owners know that little fact, that would be a huge fucking mistake. The average venue price, once it becomes a wedding venue price, shoots up to, any guesses? $11,200.
Oh my God. Bro. Just for saying the word wedding, it's like it triples, if not quadruples, the price for no reason. There's like a fly. Okay, I think it's gone. Bro, what? Just for saying the word wedding? Fuck that. If I want to just rent the space, I'm gonna rent the space, dude.
Just for the name. Just for saying the word wedding, you have a reverse discount of 220%. And who said love is free? Okay. Next up, we have the wedding photographer. Hey gang, just wanted to chime in real quick. During this segment, I keep saying wedding photographer instead of photographer. I'm putting an extra R in there for some fucking reason, and it's making me go crazy during this editing process. So I apologize in advance you have to deal with this, but I'm just a moron. A necessity for any bride and groom who wants to document Uncle Ricky getting so drunk he pisses on the wall next to the sign-in book. Now, for any normal event, like a kid's birthday party or a recircumcision, an average event photographer will only cost you about $1,000 for 4 hours. Now replace
that's fair. That's actually reasonable.
The word event with wedding, and you can magically make the word second appear before the word mortgage, because the average wedding photographer actually costs between $8,000 and $12,000 for a night of capturing the magic. Holy
shit, bro, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like, if I ever get married, I am not saying the word wedding.
shit. And yes, I would say they do a little bit more than the average event photographer because the margin of error is a lot smaller, and also they kind of help out planning everything. But I don't know. Are they using one of those cameras that they have in Harry Potter where it captures the soul of a human being? Because that's the only way I can imagine spending $12,000. I'm going to speed round these next items because I'm slowly giving up on the content.
Okay, so there was the venue that was like, what? Like 12K, photographer, let's say like 8K, so that's 20K right there. So now you got the place and the picture person.
Concept of eternal love. Live wedding.
It's not, you didn't even factor, like, okay, like the band. Okay, if it's not a band, it's got to be at least a DJ, like a single person. And then you have to have the food. You have to have the alcohol. You have to have like the marrier person, the person that marries you. What else? You have to have like all the like tables and chairs and whatnot and all the decorations. It's like you can keep piling on like things on things.
Band on average costs about $4,000, and they're not going to be good, so don't worry about that. Wedding florist, $2,400, but flowers are weirdly expensive in general, so I'll give that one a pass. Wedding event planner is only $2,000 on average, which is great because you don't have to spend that much money for somebody to tell you how to spend your money. Wedding dress is $2,000 as well, which makes sense because it's not just a white dress.
It's a wedding dress.
Average wedding cake is about $500, which is dope because just a sheet cake at Market Basket costs $30, so you just know you're getting fucked. Can't forget about sending out wedding invitations. I forgot that would cost you money, and it costs you a lot. It's like $500 for all those stamps.
Oh my god. It's like, oh, we're going to use the nice paper. This is like an instance of that one scene in, what is it, in Psycho, where he's like comparing his business card to everybody else's business card. And this is like the just most steroided out, amped up wedding invitation. It's got to be like some sort of like eggshell white. It's got to be on this type of paper. It's got to have this font at this size. There's got to be, it looks like multiple fonts, and the font color is going to be some sort of like gold or something. And it could, you know, you could just keep constantly tack on things and things and things. But it's weird and kind of funny because whenever you get the invitation, it not only does it come in an envelope, it comes in like a bag or something. It's like, well, what the fuck is this? Did somebody mail me a thing? And it's like the envelope is like the most decked out envelope you've ever seen. It's like you don't do the normal thing of just like ripping the shit open like a bill or whatever. It's like you're gently like, what the fuck is this? You take it out and you're like, you are cordially invited to the so-and-so wedding that's happening on the day of the month of the year at this time at this place. And it's like, oh, that's what this was. I thought the mail person just mailed this shit to like the wrong house. It's like, I didn't order this. What the hell? Did I just get like a bag of free alcohol or like a free, like some free Crown Royale or some shit? It's like, no, it's just a wedding invitation.
Stationary, I guess. And then there's catering, which is about $75 per person. So up to you how much debt you want to go into to feed your in-laws, something that they're going to eventually complain about. And then there's all this shit, which, whatever the fuck. So for...
Oh, wait. What was that?
Something that they're going to eventually complain about. And then there's all this shit, which...
Oh, okay. So party favors. Yup. $510. Groom's attire. What? Just like a suit rental? Hairstylist. Bro, just go get a fucking haircut the day before. I mean, well, maybe it's different for like women. Makeup artist. This is definitely, these prices are definitely for the women.
Whatever the fuck. So for 100-person...
For dudes, it's like, for at least their face, this will be like the one day of the year that they exfoliate. That'll be about the long and short of it. The one day they exfoliate their face and get a haircut.
Wedding on average, we're looking at $42,550.
Yeah, I make that in about a year. That is about my paycheck. Yeah, that's kind of scary. However, that is not in my bank account currently.
For one day. An entire college career you could have for one day you're spending. You could buy a brand new 2023 Toyota Tacoma, something that's going to outlive you. It's going to outlive me. It's definitely going to outlive this shitty marriage. You could purchase this whole car for this one stupid event that boils down to the statement, thanks for letting me bang your daughter.
Yeah.
New videos every Saturday. Also,
nice.
Go stream, what the fuck is the song? Never Wasted by Alvin Flames. That's a good song. It's made by my friend. and he's not paying me to say this. And he's probably he's never gonna find out I do this. It's not on the internet, but it's a good fucking song. I use it in my videos sometimes. Anyway,
All right.
goodbye.
I'll check it out. Bro, that was a funny fucking video, dude. Oh my god. Weddings aren't the worst. Like, weddings are awesome if it's not your wedding. If you're just going to the wedding, then yeah, it's pretty fun. But if it's your wedding, it's like, oh my god. Yeah, then you're sweating bullets. But bro, this was funny as fuck, dude. Oh my god, I want to see more. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? Later.